Thursday, April 11th. It is 6 p.m. at the regular Charlton Board of Health meeting. All members are in attendance. We're going to take a short recess at 6:15 to go outside to support the Shepherd Hill Show Choir out there. They're going to be singing the national anthem. So from 6:15 till the end of that, we're going to take a short recess. We have Gary Magnuson with us today from CMG Environmental. One of the things I wanted to talk about under new business is reorganization of the board. So there's an election coming up in May, and typically when we get to this time of the year, the board's reorganized. So currently as it is, this is the chairman seat, vice chair, and the member seat. So typically what happens is it goes down the line. So that means, Willie, you would be up for the chairman. So I wanted to see if there was any discussion on that, if you wanted to do that, or you want to be the chairman? Okay, so, John, you have any?
No, sounds good to me.
Unless you still want it.
No, I've had it, I think it's been 2 years or
Yeah.
maybe even more.
I know, I put you in last time.
What are you
Yeah.
gonna do with all the extra time? That's the question.
I mean, I still want to be available, I
Yeah.
still want to be,
As long as they can connect to you more than me, I don't have the internet.
yeah,
And then you can always get back to me,
yeah,
or us.
that's fine. You know, I just,
We'll call Willie
yeah,
directly and make sure you're updated.
Yeah.
He stops in.
Yeah, I
Make
know.
sure.
you know,
Well, he never leaves town either, right?
Well, I like to keep everyone updated, so.
Going on a cruise.
my thing is, you know, we're a board, we all have a vote, you know, and sometimes the chairman has to make decisions on the other two parties, and I've tried to make least amount of decisions, and I've always, if it's anything serious whatsoever, I've always said, it has to wait and let's bring it to a meeting, so you and you have had your fair share, so, you know, I just hope that going forward, whoever the chair is, that we all get that same, you know, that same thing, so. John, any discussion?
No, sounds appropriate to me.
So you want to make a motion?
Make a motion, that's good. I'll be the chair.
Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Bill, you're the chair.
Switch?
Welcome, young fella.
How many times has he been chair?
6?
Okay,
6 times. You're counting. Okay.
I did that wrong. So Willie, now that you're the chair, do you want to keep this going and see if Mrs. Sanborn wants to be vice chair and I'll be the member?
If you want to do that.
That's how it would go.
Protocol.
Protocol.
Yeah.
So basically the new guy, when the election is, whoever gets in, they start off as the member. So, but you're the chair, I don't want to tell you what to do, I just forgot to do it, so.
No, make a motion. If he wants to be vice chair, he'll be a member.
I second that motion.
I'm fine with it.
Aye.
So, in favor?
How do we
Aye.
have to shuffle the chairs around, or?
The motion was for John Sanborn to be vice chair.
And for me to be member.
I'm just making it clear
Yes,
for you.
right. She's not seeing all of the.
You're right. They're
Eye
shaking of the head and
contact and
stuff.
shaking of the heads, right?
Did we have 3 votes on that?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I'm in favor, sure.
So.
Switching all around.
Sit over here. Well, where do you want to sit? Yeah.
Oh, here, just one down, I'll go around.
Sure?
Yeah. Then we can shuffle the nameplates.
You want the big shot?
You're the big guy.
Yeah.
The minutes on?
Yes. I hope so, because I'm not in trouble.
I'm further away from the camera, so I have to look smaller.
It's on. Well, hey,
So we signed the warrants, other businesses, opposed to Pittsburgh Road.
On me? Okay. I'll try to stop if we're not done by about 10, 12 after or something, so we can get outside. After our last meeting and discussions with Robin Craver and with the progress that's coming with the water line, it was discussed that I would not be providing services after the 1st of April. Which was fine. And I said, as needed, I'll be available. So I'm here tonight primarily because former chair requested that I be here to discuss the April 5th, 2017 IRA Immediate Response Action Denial letter from DEP back to Casella. So I haven't done the standard memo and reviewed everything because I'm obviously trying to reduce costs to the town. But I have checked online, as I always do for you guys. I only try to present information that's publicly available. You guys have access to it all as well. I checked about 3 hours ago, and the most recent document that I can find is the April 5th IRA denial. So DEP hasn't put anything up. I did put a call into Kevin Dowse today, just to see if there was any earth-shattering news. There isn't, and if he told me anything that wasn't publicly available, we wouldn't be talking about, but there's nothing really going on since this document. So I think most people here have seen this document, but real quick, what this talks about is a couple of critical things. Is in September 2016, so that's 6 months ago now, there were detections of lead at Eleanor Lane and Berry Corner. The one at Eleanor Lane was considered an anomaly based on the LSP. They did some additional testing and kind of confirmed that. The one at Berry Corner was retested as well. DEP back then said they considered the lead, these are lead detections, not 1,4-dioxane, as a contaminant of concern, and that additional testing should be done 500 feet beyond that. That never got done. In this denial letter, DEP put their foot down and said, you will test homes within 500 feet of, I think it's 11 Eleanor, 10 Eleanor, in 150 Berry Corner by May 5th.
So you'll be testing, having them tested?
I will. Ty and Bond, on behalf of Southbridge Road, the potentially responsible party, has been mandated, I'm not sure they will be, but they have been mandated by May 5th to do testing for lead of all homes within 500 feet of 10 Eleanor and 150 Berry Corner. DEP said you will do it.
And how many houses is that?
I don't know off the top of my head, but
A few, or more than a few?
oh, it's way more than a few. Yeah, it's probably close to 10. Could be close to 10. The real important thing here is lead is naturally occurring. Lead is associated with indoor plumbing. There's a lot of issues associated with lead testing. And one of those issues is there's more common sampling error issues with lead testing than there are with 1,4-dioxane or VOCs. And a lot of it comes down to, is it related to the house? So the first sample that came up was, looking at the number of 280 ppm, or ppb. 280 ppb lead is very high, drinking water standard is 10. So 280 is very high. They retested and it went down to less than 10, I think.
Don't they run the water a lot? Because most of it's in the pipes itself.
Exactly.
But now they come out with all that plastic stuff with no joints,
Yeah.
on new houses.
So a lot of, I think if I remember correctly, 10 also has a treatment system in place. So was it collected before the treatment? Was it collected after? There was some discrepancy before. Time bomb went out. I believe they sampled that well 2 times, showed the lead was below the standard. They sent it to DEP, said it's below the standard, the 280 is not real, we're done. DEP said, thank you, but we don't agree, you gotta keep looking. So they did mandate them to address that. They also mandated that the continuation of the monthly sampling of all homes within 500 feet for all of the contaminants they're testing for. If you remember that happened, that came to be back in this fall. DEP mandated that when we were having issues with water levels and we had a lot of detections in July, I believe it was. And DEP said, no, I want you to sample all the wells monthly. They continue to ask to reduce that back to quarterly. I think providing some pretty good data. The last report, I will give credit, did a pretty good job of providing a technical evaluation of why they shouldn't do it. I'm not sure I completely agree with it, but it's at least they're not saying we're just not doing it. They're putting some data together. But DEP said no, you will continue to test monthly.
Who's gonna be checking that, seeing you ain't gonna be,
I will, whether I'm paid or not, I'm gonna look at the data.
Mr. Chairman? So, one of the concerns I had was the dust settled, the town administrator requested that we ease off with Gary. It was actually explained to me that that had already happened. I didn't have really a say in it, but it was more or less, Gary called me and said they, they cut my hours, basically. And the dust had settled, so we were okay with it. But this lead thing, in my opinion, stirred it up, so I requested Gary. I also talked to Jim as far as trying to get funding for Gary. And I think we're in good shape, at least till June, something like that.
Reduced hours or?
Not
As
reduced
needed?
styles, no, I put what his budget was gonna be monthly, and I don't know, Jim, if you saw that.
Yeah, I saw it. It's about 2, and which is, we have funding, and they provided some more funding for Gary to do the things that are necessary for federal. This is separate. This is dealing with the issues that we currently have arisen
Yeah.
for. And they were trying to resist, even with the letter from the DEP,
Yeah.
as we discussed on Friday, but I know they were there because I was on the phone with Mr. Coleman when Casella showed up. But they were still resistant, and I had to press the issue with the LSP and said, this is your license, this is the thing to do. You're not supposed to be working for Casella, you're supposed to be working for the town of Southbridge and the residents. So you do the right thing, I'm calling the DEP, as we discussed. And they showed up and they delivered to 150 Perry Corner Road and 151. And 10 Elder Lane has a filtration system.
So that's the next most important thing.
You get time off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
We're gonna take a,
okay, we're gonna take 5-10 minutes.